Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. So, my topic for this morning is all about ecoliteracy. So, here are the objectives. First, explain ecoliteracy in developing a sustainable development. Second is discuss the seven environmental principles of nature. And lastly is describe a green school. So, ecoliteracy and sustainable development. Ecoliteracy considers ecological systems and awareness of how society operates within natural aspect as an educational imperative. So, ecoliteracy, it is important to know the ecological system. This includes age, gender, culture, their tradition, their political views, ideology, and etc. Because this could affect the effectiveness of the implementing ecoliteracy in school. So the basic principles of ecoliteracy are good starting points to explore fundamental lessons that can be learned from nature for the reform of society according to Wall 2017. So, it is important to have a strong foundation, the basic principles of ecoliteracy, because this will serve as your backbone to explore, learn, and grow as individuals. So, David Orr, 1992, posited that by failing to include ecological perspectives in education, students are taught that ecology is unimportant. So, according to students, that ecological is not important, but David Orr argue about the perspectives of students because ecological is very important for us to have interconnection in our nature, earth, and our environment in order for us to be responsible as individuals. So, Orr and Capra in 1990 coined the idea of ecological literacy as creating a new emphasis on the need for education to integrate understanding of the interdependence between natural processes and human ways of life. So, according ni Orr o Capra, they promoting about ecological literacy, which is prioritizing for us to have an interconnectedness and interdependent to, for our nature. So, ilam ning gi-promote para sa at for us to sustain or to survive our daily needs, because ecoliteracy is very important for us to have food we eat and so on. So, sustainability is a quality and quantitative condition that it demonstrates the human capacity to survive over time. It's qualitative in the way that we want well-being. It is biological and ecological imperative for human society to exist. So, from the word sustain, it means on how we are going to survive of what situation, like example atong pandemic that we suffer so many processes that we needed to survive. So, just like sa ecoliteracy or ecological na, it's very important for us. So, daghay mga activities that promote to be to grow and for us to survive and to learn and be responsible. So, ecoliteracy and sustainable development. Ecoliteracy provides basis for integrated thinking about sustainable. So, ecoliteracy is the ability to understand natural systems that make life on Earth possible. So, if you are ecoliterate person, you have a deeper understanding on the organization of ecological communities, meaning to say that you have the ability to make a contribution to have your society sustainable. So, next is ecological literate person and society. So, an ecological literate person applies such to the design and organization of communities and a creation of the generative culture according to Wall 2017. So this means that if you are an ecologically literate person, you are not just simply having understanding or knowing about sa ecoliteracy, but you are applying or taking initiative effort to make your society process or to make your culture progressive, continuously grow. So now let's have two. An ecologically literate society would be a sustainable society which does not destroy the natural environment on which they depend according to Wall 2017. So this means that an ecologically literate society would be a society na mindful and careful in making an action or decision. They would not make an action or decision that would negatively affect sa environment. Instead, they would make the action or decision that would maintain, preserve, and grow their natural environment on which they depend on. So now let's proceed into the ways to develop ecoliteracy in school. It identified practices that helps promote the cognitive and affective abilities with the integration of emotional, social, and ecological intelligence. So first, we have develop empathy for all forms. So by recognizing the common needs we share with all organisms, we can extend our empathy to consider the quality of life to other life forms, feel genuine concern about their well-being, and act on that concern. So this means that by developing empathy for all forms of life involves cultivating a deep understanding and compassion for the experiences, feelings, and perspectives of dili lang sa mga fellow humans but also po animals, plants, and the environment. It requires recognizing the interconnectedness of how living beings and appreciating the value they bring to the ecosystem. This empathetic mindset encourages responsible and ethical choices that prioritize the well-being of all life on Earth, fostering a sense of stewardship for the planet and its diverse inhabitants. So, second, we have embrace sustainability as a community practice by learning the wondrous ways that plants, animals, and other living things are interdependent. Students are to consider the role of interconnectedness within their communities and see the value of strengthening those relationships by thinking and acting cooperatively. So embracing means you acknowledge, you give importance, prioritize, and sustainability. So this means that you make an action, you provide a solution that makabenefits sa whole community. Next, we have make the invisible visible. So, if we strive to develop ways of living that are life-affirming, we must find ways to make visible the things that are seen invisible by using web-based tools such as Google Earth, Google Guide, and Food Educate apps. So, this means that you exert effort to discover underlying problem in your community, and then you get to discover the underlying problems in your community so you can make an action or effort to solve it. So next is anticipate unintended consequences. So teachers can teach students strategies for participating unintended consequences. This includes precautionary principle that when activities threatens to have damaging impact of the environment or human health, precautionary action should be taken. So it's important to anticipate unintended consequences even though it will not come as you have anticipated, because it will prevent you from getting into a more trouble problem by providing an earlier solution when it is important for a teacher to provide or to teach students strategies to anticipated and intended consequences. Lastly, we have the understand how nature sustains life. So this means that an ecoliterate person understand and give value to have nature sustain life for a long time. Therefore, they take part in the activities that helps in preserving and conserving nature. So, an understanding how nature sustain life, this have three types. The ecoliterate person learn from the nature that all organisms are complex and interconnected that inhabit a particular place for survival. Second is ecoliterate people tend to be more aware that systems exist on various levels of skills. And lastly, ecoliterate people collectively practice a way of life that fulfills the needs of the present generation while stimulously supporting nature's inherent ability to sustain life in the future. So now let's have the 7 environmental principles on nature. So first is nature knows best. So people need to understand nature and have to abide by the rules it imposes. So this is the most basic principles of all the 7 principles. We human must have to understand the nature and follow its rules, because if we want to ensure steady and continuously of life and resources, one must not go against the rules of the nature. This can bring an imbalance in our ecosystems. Second is all forms of life are important. So each organism plays a fundamental role in nature. Therefore, all living things must be considered as invaluable instruments in maintaining balance in the ecosystems. So this means that each organism plays a fundamental in our nature. It's easy to appreciate beauty of an organism like butterflies, especially if you know that it plays an important role in pollination. The giant ones like elephant and whale, the alligators are the one we respect with mixed fear of wonder the product they produce. But when it comes to lovely square me, the troublesome creatures, this principle is unusual overlooked. Third, let's see have that everything is connected to everything else. So, in an ecosystem, all components interact to each other to ensure that the systems is sustainable, of which any outside interference may result in an imbalance and deterioration of the system. So, this means that in an ecosystem, all biotic and abiotic factors interact with each other to ensure that the system is sustained. Any intrusion from outside may cause imbalance and therefore collapsing the environment. Or let's see have everything changes. People must rethink their relationship with the environment through relative technologies for positive changes. So this means that the environment is constantly changing. Organism develop also through time. However, our current technology will have affected this natural change, and these changes cause problematic events to us. Humans should retake the relationship with the environment, because what we believe that is beneficial to us often turn out to be catastrophic. 5 is everything must go somewhere. So since waste may go back to one's own backyard in some other forms, it is important to become aware of the different types of waste, classify and segregate those that are toxic and potentially hazardous. So this means that everything is elsewhere. it doesn't just disappear. For example, if you throw a plastic or candy wrapper away, it disappear from your sight, but it doesn't exist. So it always depends on elsewhere. The gases released in the atmosphere may spread, but it will end up in the component of atmosphere and can be brought down by rains. Any particular type of waste should always be a concern to us. It may pollutants or resources depending on a certain factors. Be responsible people and throw your trash away properly. So 6 is ours is finite earth. Awareness of the earth's limited resources leads to a conscious effort to chance one's attitude and initiative to recycle them. So this means that earth resources can be classified as either renewable or non-renewable resources. So when we say renewable resources are those resources that can easily replenish through natural cycles, like for example the plant, air, water, and the animals, while the non-renewable resources are those resources that cannot easily to replenish through natural cycle. That's why it is important that we must frugal and we must take good care of our resources because it has limitations. So lastly, we have nature is beautiful and we are stewards of God's creation. So being the most intelligent and being gifted with reason, humans are capable of controlling and taking care of the creation of their own advantages. So earth resources can be classified as so this means that being the most intelligent and gifted person, it is our responsibility to take good care of the gift that God has given to us. We should take good care of them and not destroy them. So it's very important for us human to be responsible and for us to have a not destroy for our environment. Second is stewards, a green school and education. Towards a green school and education for sustainable development. So school plays a great role in the development of academics but also environment ethics for nature among students. The school environment therefore should engage, support, and nurture students' capacity on green environment as integrated in the curriculum and instructions. So towards green schools and education for sustainable development. So this means that the school jud ang magdevelop og diri sab nato may bawaan ang dapat buhaton or ang dili buhaton sa ating environment. If we remember way back high school na naay mga organization na mag-conduct og mga tree planting to clean inside or outside in school. Then sa college na atay CWTS. So through sa paglimpyo or paglinis, mga immersion and segregation sa mga other projects to help preserve and upang mapaganda ang ating kapaligiran. Environmental issues and concern can effectively address when all efforts of staff and students are geared towards adopting environmentally sustainable principles at all levels, from planning and decision making up to execution in a school functioning as part of the daily routine, such as creating a green school. So in this environmental issue, it's okay if we are unite or helping each other para sa ikakabuti ng ating kalikasan. So by this, maging maganda ang result or mahitabo at other can give some idea sa mga tao o sa kabataan and how to protect our environment. So we must take care the environment for us and for our future generation. So, green school, the concept and backyard. So, the concept of green school was introduced in Europe in the 1990s, while the Rio Summit Earth 1992 took cognizance of the need to take action in every area in which human impact of the environment. So, as early as 1990s, nagsugod ang studies to take an action impact on the environment because nagkinadaghan ang tao sa kalibutan, then the resources is kulang. So, diri na matakol kung ansa ang dapat buhaton or pag-aralan at isa ayos. Because the population is increasing, of course, the supply of foods and shelter also increasing, so maapektuhan jud ang mga forest or our environment, kay ang mga bukid himuon nag building or shelter ang tamnan para sa mga supply or consume sa mga tao. In the World Summit of Sustainable Development or WSSD in Johannesburg in 2002 catalyzed the effort to bring about a shift educating about the environment to educating for sustainability. So, in 2002, World Summit on Sustainable Development, or what we call as the WSSD, educating about the environment to educating for sustainability. So, diri ginatakol ang mga climate change kung unsaan nato ang pag-solution sa mga issues about environmental sa pagbilis ng pagbabago sa kalibutan. So, in the same time, diri po ginatakol on how to find solutions sustain the needs of the people in school. Diri tudloan ang mga kabataan unan sa lahi-lahi nga course like biology in science or kung unsa man cause and effect of climate change in human and animals, at sa bawat isa na nabubuhay sa mundo kung unsaon pagsolusyon, unsaon dapat buhaton in each individual. So, in 2005, launched the Decade of Education for Sustainable Development to integrate principles, values, and practice of sustainable development into all aspects of education. So, Green School and ESD. The Green School is visualized as a school guided by the principles and environmental sustainability. So, meaning to say, it is the Green School is a school that strictly follows or adheres the principles of environment sustainability. Seek and create a conducive environment to fully utilize and all resources. So, meaning to say that it building that are conducive for learning, and it also provides equipment and facility that are essential for students to have a better teaching and learning process. Essential aspect of Green School environment. So, the Green School has clean, healthy, protective, and green surrounding. It also promotes both the physical and the social health of learners and other in school. Safe learning environmental with healthy practices and brings children closer to nature and involves them taking care of it. So this means it is sustainability encompassing practices that minimize environmental impact and promote long-term ecological health. So it is an issue of health rate provision of health services such as nutrition supplement, like anong mga vitamins na ihatag sa mga bata, and take playground and part of them to play during recess or lunch, like elementary, kindergarten, o may mga playground sila aron makapag-explore sila and discover their ability na ay mga safe drinking water, neat and clean classroom, so that the school nag-ensure nga libyo na ay clean facilities to check sa mga bata, teachers, if okay ra ba ang health nila, and also the school na dapat both teachers and students are comfortable in order for them to learn and to teach well. So safe learning environment would help practice such as school are free of drugs and smoke-free zone, and also free for corporal punishment and harassment, and bring children closest to nature and involves them in taking care of it. Moreover, fostering environmental awareness and education within the school community is crucial, instilling a sense of responsibility and eco-conscious behavior among students and staff. So, a green school adheres to the following precepts: learning about the environment, learning through the environment, and learning for the environment. So, learning about the environment, it focuses mainly on acquisition of knowledge and understanding of the surrounding in related issues. So, learning about the environment, it involves gaining knowledge about interconnectedness systems and processes that shape our natural world. So, diri na to gi-studyhan kung unsaon na to pagtabang sa environment sa ato, kung unsay rason nga nung magbago ang atong environment, unsay mga issue na ato bang karon and in the future about environment. So, as individual, unsay atong matabang para sa environment. So, this knowledge empowers individual to make informed decision, adapt sustainable practices, and contribute to preservation of our planet for future generations. So, learning through the environment, it refers to the processes of learning while being engaged with environment inside and outside the classroom. So learning through the environment entails the utilizing the surrounding context as a dynamic educational tool. So in school, learned science and biology in different aspects, such as in how to take care of the environment and the flash flood and erosion. Outside of school naman, nag-conduct of field trip in order for us to learn and appreciate the beauty of the nature. So in short, the learning through environment, this approach encourages hands-on experience and direct interaction with nature for fostering a deeper understanding of ecological principles and immersing learners in real-world environment. So in learning for the environment, it aims at developing an informed response and responsibility towards the environmental beyond acquisition of skills and knowledge. So in learning for environment, so this means that it emphasizes education as a means to cultivate environmental stewardship and sustainability, pag-aral sa kapaligiran katulad ng mga programang reuse, reduce, and recycle to save our environment. Kay kung walay environment, walay tao, mga animals, and etc. So, today let's talk about understanding green curriculum. So, in understanding green curriculum, for a curriculum to be green, it must include the following aspects. So, it has 5 aspects of the understanding curriculum. So, in understanding green curriculum, kani siya is nag-focus on integrating environmental awareness, sustainability, and ecological principles into educational programs. It involves designing courses and learning materials that emphasize the interconnectedness of human activities with the environment by incorporating green concepts. Schools aim to equip students with the knowledge and skills needed to address environmental challenges and promote a more sustainable future. So, now let's have creating a green school. So, a green school is a school that creates a healthy environment conducive to learning while saving energy, environment, resources, and money. Therefore, a green school is reduce environmental impacts and costs. So the school, so it means that a green school can reduce environmental impact and cost by simply implementing the 3 R's, which is the reduce waste, reuse resources, and recycle materials. Or they would organize a tree planting in school and tell students why planting trees are important to the environment. Or they could encourage children to switch off the appliances or light when it's not used. Second is improve occupants' health and performance. So this means a green school can improve occupants' health and performance by simply planting trees and the school providing proper ventilation or good ventilation and organizing a feeding school program. And lastly, increases environmental and sustainability literacy. So this means that school can increase environmental sustainability literacy, defined constantly having a symposium or orientation in schools. So characteristic of green school, we have it protects health. So a green school protects health because it provides proper ventilation and has many planted trees. Second is it increases students' performance. Of course, it includes students' performance. A green school increases students' performance because it lessens absences due to sickness or health problems and therefore increases students' attendance in class. It saves energy and money. So of course, you can save energy and money. It reduces carbon emissions. It reduces water usage. It improves teacher retention. So a green school can reduce teacher turnover by up to 5% and it improves teaching and learning process. It improves daily attendance. It provides a unique educational opportunity. 9. It creates green jobs. And lastly, it improves equity. So in characteristic of green schools, so this means that a green school buildings create an environment where students and teachers are more comfortable, less prone to illness, and more focused on teaching and learning. Therefore, green school improves health, wellness, and academic performance. So, thank you. Also, any questions? So, that's all for this morning. Thank you and God bless.